Hello, everybody. So I did my project on what college students think about mountain formation, how they think mountains are formed, and this was one of Dr. Braun's possible topics. I didn't really know what I was going to do, but as I was looking through it, um, this one caught my eye. I thought it'd be a good topic. I thought it'd be a topic that I may be interested in, so I went for it. As you can see in my reader notes, speaker notes, what do other college students think about how mountains are formed? That is my research question, and there's the image link of a beautiful mountain. Second slide, there's the question again. What do you think? What do all other college students think about how mountains are formed? Um, College students in the Earth. It's a question that I honestly would never have thought about as a college student. I mean, obviously, it's nice to wonder about things and stuff like that, but many people don't wonder about things like that. So I thought, you know what? Let's just see where their knowledge is at. I just thought to myself, mountains are these beautiful creations of just the earth, and it's just crazy to think about how they're formed. I mean, and I just tried to pick out two quick images that I thought really just encapsulated the absolute beautiful elegance of mountains. And I also added some fun facts about mountains. In the bottom, I found out that the oldest mountain range in the world is actually in South Africa and is the Barberton Greenstone Belt, which is actually 3.6 billion years old, which is a lot of years. That is far, far, far before any humans ever walked on this planet, which I believe is 6 million years ago. So 3.6 billion with a B. So long, long time. I thought this would once again, one more reason that this would be a cool topic to talk about. So we go to our background information. What is a mountain? One definition is a large natural elevation of the Earth's surface rising abruptly from the surrounding level. Very complicated term, but pretty much just a raised surface of the Earth. And I found there were different topics or different studies on how many different types of mountains there are. Some people said 5, some people said 4, 3, 2. A lot of different options. But the main ones that I found were volcanic, fold, and block. So I thought I'd do these 3 types. Volcanic mountains are pretty much magma from the Earth's core, coming up through the surface, and then hardening. And as that volcano as the magma continues to go upwards into the earth, it hardens on the surface, creating a risen structure. And that is seen here. As you see, the magma comes up, flows down, and all of this was past volcanic eruptions that hardened the earth's surface. As I said again, how long have mountains been around? Long time. Billions of years. So it's just crazy to think about how long these things have happened. Volcanic mountains, fold mountains, block mountains. So yeah, moving on to fold mountains. As you can see here, it's when 2 tectonic plates on the Earth's surface actually slam into each other slowly, and pretty much the rocks have to go somewhere, and they go upwards. So here you see they're going towards each other. There's compression. This is actually under the ocean. They go towards each other and they bring up a mountain. And that's what they call a fold mountain. And then finally there's a block mountain, which is what I found was actually the opposite of a fold. It was when 2 tectonic plates are actually moving away from each other. And when that happens, there's kind of like a mountain and valley formation that kind of happens right here. It starts to break and a valley's created, but as these move in their valleys, they actually create mountains too, where there aren't valleys. So that would be a block mountain. So moving on to the actual research, this is my questionnaire. So I had a 5-question questionnaire with 2 demographic questions, 3 content-related questions. The question was available to mostly the Westfield State University students in the class. I did share it with people who are in my friend group. Not many answered it, um, which I guess is understandable. School these days is tiring with the COVID-19 pandemic. So, but I did send it out to the Science for Future Presidents class, and I think all of them, if not all of them, responded. Most of them did. And then I asked Dr. Braun for some more, and he was able to give me some more. And I got 25 participants in all, which is a great, perfect number. So, as I said, the participants are Westfield State University students. I put the link to the questionnaire in the speaker notes. The responses were all anonymous, so people didn't feel nervous about how to answer, nervous that they weren't going to answer correctly, so made sure it was anonymous. And as I said, two demographic, 3 content related, and 25 people. So the questions that I asked, the two demographics were: what college is your major a part of? Then name any geography, geology, environmental science class that you've had during high school or college. And then the content were: do you think volcanoes and mountain formation are related? How do you think mountains are formed? And how many ways do you think mountains are formed? Which we already talked about. I found that there were 3 main ways. But this eventually was a little bit of a weird question because there are different people who think different things. But I found those are the main 3 ways. So I did have a chart here, a bar chart of the first demographic question, which was what their college was within Westfield State. And I found that 17 out of the 25 had a college within the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences. So I found that the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences via the Westfield State University website were art, communication, English, ethnic, gender studies, GPS, geographic planning, which is exactly where this class falls, history, language, culture studies, liberal studies, music, philosophy, political science, sociology, and theater arts. And so 17 out of 25 is actually 68% of people. I believe that's 68% if I'm doing the math right, were in that college, which, and since I'm guessing some of them may have had a major in GPS because they're part of this class, they may have had a good prior history of mountain formation questions, just geography related questions. I also put in that the mathematics and scientists, which was the next most, 6 out of 25, only 24%, but still. Physical sciences and environmental sciences were within that one. I thought those were the pertinent ones to add. So that was my first demographic. Then the next one was another bar chart, because there were some people who took more than one of these, so a pie chart wouldn't have worked. It was what types of classes: the ecology, environmental science, geology, anything like that I wanted them to add. So as you can see, geography was the most. Once again, 17 out of 25 took a geography class, which is 68%. So that's a lot of people. And geography is the study of the physical features of the Earth, so, which is what mountain formation literally is. So 68%, at least 68% of the respondents took at least a geography class in high school or college. So that's important, They've had prior knowledge, and mountain formation isn't the most complicated thing in the world. So that shows that they do have a history of learning about that, which is important to the study, which means that they should have a general idea of how mountain formation is. So then we get into our content. This was also a bar chart, but I decided to turn it because to catch the difference between the demographic and content related questions. So how do you think mountains are formed? This is an open-ended question. They can answer however they wanted to. And 16 people, they could answer with as many as they wanted to. With as many ways. Some people wrote plate tectonics and earthquakes, So I split all the answers up, and I found that 16 out of the 25 said that plate tectonics were involved, which is a lot of people. And, as you can see, 3 others said volcanic eruptions, 2 others said earthquakes, 1 other said rock settling, sea level rising, land sinking. But all of those are related to plate tectonics, which is right back to mountain formation. So there is general knowledge that was involved. Speaker notes, I put them to the best the best I could. Everyone kind of had a different way of wording it, but how I found it was this way. This is the best way I put it together that I could. Moving on to the next one, I finally got a pie chart in here. I had the question. I actually tried to trick them in a way. I put that volcanoes and mountain formation are not related to each other in any way. I wanted them to kind of have to think about it because I thought if I just put volcanoes and mountain formation are related to each other, that they'd be like, oh yeah, he must be asking that on purpose. I'll just say that I agree with that. But I wanted to try to see if I could catch them, and I didn't. 18 disagreed and 5 strongly disagreed. They could only select one. So that means 23 out of 25 got this correct. That they are that's not correct. That volcanoes and mountain formation are in fact related. 23 out of 25. That's a lot. That's I believe 92%. There we go. I'm right. 92% got this question correct. Proving to me again that they have a good general knowledge of mountain formation, and that they know the basics, which is the goal of this research question, was to see what do they think, and obviously they have a good idea that they are related. So then my final content question that I'm bringing up here is how many different ways can mountains be formed? So how college students feel. And now this one was the most varied answer, but once again, as I said at the beginning, I expected this one to be varied because everyone says there's something different, but the main ways that I found were 3 ways, and 10 out of the 25 did say 3 ways, and once again, they could only select one of them. So to me, 40% were correct to my standard of how many ways, which to my standard, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, I'm a college student, so that doesn't really go too far, but I did find a lot more knowledge than I'm guessing anyone else had, unless they took a specific mountain formation class. So 40% had 3 ways, and then 60% had 2 or 4 ways. But this wasn't, looking back at it now, this wasn't the greatest question because of how many different ways, how many different people say there are different ways. Some people could say there were 2, 4, or 3. So some people even said there were 5 ways. So that's okay. As I said in the speaker notes, some said there was a fold block mountain, but I found that fold, block, and volcanic were the 3 main ways, so that's what I did. So this wasn't the best question to kind of analyze what people thought, but I still think they did a great job with this. And, still 10 out of 25 did say 3 ways, and 2 and 4 ways aren't that far from 3. So, in the conclusion, college students do have a basic knowledge of mountain formation. But then again, I have to realize the respondents are only from Westfield State University, which was part of my question. What do college students think about mountain formation? I didn't ask what do elementary students think. I didn't ask what do adults think. I asked what college students think, and Westfield State University is a college. So it did answer my question. The topic, it wasn't, I guess, that difficult, now that I think about it. And while I was doing this slideshow, I didn't think it was that difficult of a question, so it wasn't that difficult. But it's still, I think it's an important topic to understand. It's a basic thing that we see every day, especially in Western Massachusetts. When you drive down the Pike West, you see mountains everywhere. So basic knowledge was found. The questions were answered. And I do find that college students have basic general knowledge of mountain formation. So, in conclusion, that is what I'm saying. Image, found some people climbing up Mount Everest. Kudos to them. That won't be me. And then I have my citations. So, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.